Down everything. That can go away, that can go away, that can go away. Um, okay, oh yeah, I'm gonna put on some music in a second. Uh, but okay, yeah. So, hello everyone. So I've been wanting to do a game dev stream for a while. Um, because there's a lot of people out there whose faces I haven't seen in a very long time. And I figured me doing a little stream of what I've been working on would be a nice kind of way to just like see, well, for you guys to see me, because it's been like, coronavirus pandemic and such. And I've actually been working on a small prototype recently. And way back in the day, I used to stream like a bit, but I haven't streamed for a while, so I haven't done any video recording for a while either. Like last time I was using OBS was for recording tutorial videos. But anyway, I digress. So hi, um, I've got a list of things I want to go through. Like I've made a little notepad. So first things first, I just want to show everyone this project I've been working on, and it's kind of like a fixed camera, kind of Resident Evil style thing at the moment. Um, I've been working with a couple of different technologies and tools that I've not used before. And I've kind of spent the last maybe, I've not spent too much time on it, but I've spent maybe a week on it, I think. And that includes kind of learning the tool sets and stuff. But so what am I going to do first? So firstly, I'll just show you the first kind of area I made. Oh, this was a long time ago. I did make this area. Wonder if this still works. So, I've been learning this tool called Real-Time CSG, and what this is, it's like an editor that works like an old school FPS editor. And I'll tell you what, I'm gonna put some PS1 music on in the background. If that is too loud, please let me know. And if anyone is actually in chat, please just like let me know, because it's good to know I'm not talking to myself. But yeah. So kind of to learn this tool, I ended up making this kind of little sewer system, and from there, was it sample room? I ended up making this. Hi, there's a dev in chat. Hi, dev. Um, from there, um, I made like a room, and then that kind of turned into a house, and then I started learning a bit about lighting, and I spent a while kind of figuring out what I'm going to do for assets. So you can see in this space that I've got like a couple of like a sofa, some bookcases, and I was like, what am I going to do for assets in this game? Like, I'm not going to be able to like, I could use like a robust library for like prototyping stuff. And I did a bunch of searches. There's a number of like websites on the internet that are like, you can search for 3D models, and all of them are kind of not great. If I'm honest, they're all a bit jank. So I kind of was like, I'll just not worry about it. And then I spent hours and hours kind of searching for like libraries I could use before I came across something on itch.io, which I think, do I still have that up? So there's a game called Everything, and the guy who made it, he made a whole bunch of 3D assets for it, and he's been putting them out on itch.io. He's got all of these different libraries, and yeah, it is really cool actually, Deb. Like, these are all kind of just things that you can use, like a huge amount of things. So he's got one. So I mean, like he's put out 5 packs, and we've got animals, buildings, consumables, geology, and furnishings. I've only really properly looked into the furnishings pack, and obviously we've got a few here. Now, the actual furnishings pack, it comes as like a scene, and everything's kind of in one file. I've kind of separated stuff out, and you can see this is like I haven't even separated all of this stuff out yet. There's just like a lot of stuff, and this is just in one file. Like, for interior stuff, there's like a lot here, right? I feel like this is like a good resource for prototyping stuff. So, but there was one issue. So these models, we have a look at one of them. They're a bit finicky to select. So these bleachers here, if we have a look at the shader, I've made like a custom shader for it. And that was using shader, what's it called? The shader graph. And all of these are like, they're textureless, and they use the vertex color to do the shading. So you can kind of do it all in one material. But Unity doesn't like just do that out the box. So figuring out how to do that shader and what I needed to do took a while. I also made like a custom shader. Like, if you have a look at this, you'll notice that there's like a wooden material on it, and rather than remapping out all of the materials, I made like another shader graph shader, and all that does is it takes the hue. You can kind of set a range of hues, and you can replace whatever's in that hue with a texture. So I set 4 slots for that. It's kind of like, it's a good workaround, but it's not ideal, but it does the job for now. This is also using the universal render pipeline. So I've been doing more about lighting in this than I've done in any other project, really. I'm learning a lot about it, so like, let's just have a look at the current state of the project and we can kind of go from there. So it's like, if we first look at the character, you can see we've got like the character who can kind of just move around. I've got an aim. I don't have a fire animation yet, so there's just kind of this jank there. But like all of these kind of fixed camera resi style games, there's a quick turn. I put that onto Q for now. And you can run, and as you go about the scene, yeah, right, it looks as basically like the things you need for a resi game, like the scripts you need for a resi game, are minimal. would go up. So yeah, I mean, like that's kind of working, right? Yeah. So yeah, Resi games are really kind of like there's not a lot mechanically happening there. I have used Cinemachine a little bit, Dev, but I'm not using it for this project. You could do. Uh, Maybe it's something I will use. Like I think maybe I'll have some tracking shots in. Like maybe as you walk down a corridor, there'll be like um, a fixed path like that you can go down. Because like I want this to be like something that essentially you could render out as like a series of images if required, and it'd be like quite authentic as a PS1 game. And like these PS1 games used to have these shots which were like videos, and you'd walk through and like your character would stay in the 3D space, and that's like pretty nuts at the time. But right. So anyway, it's a Resi game. There's cameras. I'm gonna quickly go over the code for the cameras because, well, and the player because it's really simple. Um, just load up Visual Studio here. Oh, incidentally, this is the safe room music from Resi that's playing. So that's dead on. So this is like fixed camera trigger. This is like temporary code. Like um, it'll probably change as I make things a bit more sophisticated. But it's just a trigger here. And if we have a look at how the player's set up, if I go to the player, actually, let's look at the player first. Player controller. So the player controller's got more stuff going on than you would think, but it's actually quite simple. Excuse me. And Glums is following me. Hi, Glums. Hello. um, so where was I? Right. So player controller. Oh, it's actually getting dark, isn't it? Let me just turn the light on. Hang on. Right. Player controller. So we're using a nav mesh for the player. It's a nav mesh mixed with some simple walking animations. So we have a look at the actual players on the inspector. There's a Nav Mesh Agent, and the Nav Mesh Agent's just like for navigation. So if I have a look at the Nav Mesh, you can see how this blue area is like a walkable space, and as you kind of like add things, you can rebake your Nav Mesh so you can walk around the space. And rather than doing like a rigid body, it just makes it like way easier to. So what happens when you walk up the stairs, right? Well, I mean, you saw it work before. It's just using the default animation at the moment, but I could do some like IK targets and see how it's all right, but it's not like quite there because yeah, like I could do it. So obviously in the old get hi Widley, how's it going? Glad you could make it. But yeah, so obviously in classic Resi games, you'd press a button to go up the stairs, and then your animations will play. You'll get to the top, and that's something that I could do. I just haven't done it yet. the animations I'm using, it's just a set of animations from Mixamo. But these animations have got the movement baked in, so like the animation speed's controlled by the animator. So if we have a look at the animator, here it is. It's at the bottom of the screen. Let me put this here. It's very basic due to the base layer. Oh yeah, so the animations in Mixamo are named awfully, but basically we've got movement, and that goes. I could have sworn I renamed these. Oh, so these are. So we've got movement, and if you press a button, we've got an aim ball here, and when you hold on to that, it goes to here, and then when you shoot, it'll go to this, which is supposed to be fire. I forget what this is, so I'm going to. They go into quick turn. I think that might be the buffer for going into quick turn. I think sometimes it's worth improving on the old design. So set animation for walking up the stairs will feel. Yeah, I think so. I think so too, Dev. I think having some control on the stairs is good. Like, I think Resi 2 had it, so there were some stairs that you had to press a button to go up, or it would go into a load screen. I'm not 100% on that. But some of the later Resi games definitely did that, so that's something I'll probably do. But yeah, so all of the movement and like the kind of logic is driven by the animator. Oh, okay. It's funny you say that, Dev, because I like Killer 7 is like one of my faves. I'm sure you know that. But I'm unsure because I'm thinking about making it like when you're aiming, maybe it goes first person. Something I could try out, but like when you do that, it's quite a different feel. So I mean that's something I might do, but I'm not really decided yet. This is just a project I'm playing around with. There's no I haven't kind of decided on anything yet. So there's always room for experimentation. Yeah, Killer 7's like so legit. On that subject, let me show you another scene I was working on. So this is like the first visual test I was doing. And like Killer 7's like a real inspiration for me. And it uses a lot of like, this is like a screen space gradient. So as you can see, like it's screen space, but it's also like lit. So you get some lighting on the walls. But like, I'm not sure if this really works. I'm thinking about making it world space gradient rather than screen space. That needs some experimentation, but that's like one way to go about things. Obviously, like, you know, this just fits right in because you just bake a nav mesh and then suddenly you're working, you know, like this is fine. And then there's another scene which I was working on with another custom shader to make kind of like a digital feel. It probably compresses horribly on video, but we've got these kind of like what would you call them, like points of light. Yeah, I think I think all of these kind of different things look good, whereas this is like kind of like a digital space. This one's like kind of a Killer 7 thing, but Killer 7 used like different colors, so um, I mean, I guess I'd put more complementary colors into that. Well, into that, yeah. Glad to hear, Glums. Glad to hear. And obviously the first one we looked at was like kind of like I'm trying to go for like a PS1 pre-rendered type thing. So I'm even thinking about having the main character be like I don't know 300 triangles or something, and this be like have a post processing effect on this to make it feel like a JPEG background almost. There's a number of different kind of ideas I've got for this project, but yeah, I like all of these styles. So what I was going to do is I was going to show you how I'm making these rooms. So I'm going to create, because if anyone, I mean, any other fellow Unity devs might get something out of this. I'm just going to create a new scene. And I'm using this real-time CSG tool. And like I mentioned earlier, it's kind of like a Quake Half-Life style level editor. And it's really good to make stuff quite fast, like levels and stuff. So if we click on generate here, we can kind of like make boxes, spheres, stairs. I'll tell you what, I'll put a player in for reference and put that at 0, 0, 0. What's happened to your materials? Let's sort you out. Oh, that's the wrong way round. Body 2. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, no worries, Dev. Thanks for coming along. Yeah, no, thanks. I appreciate that, Dev. The PS1 thing is like, you know, I'm into that kind of shit. So, been wanting to make something like this for a while. So I figured now's a good time to do it. But yeah, so real-time CSG, you can make like little boxes. So if I make a room, say this big. So you just draw out a box, and then you can kind of make that. So, and then enter. And then suddenly we've got a box. You've got like constraints here for grid size, for snapping. And it's created like a model here. We don't need the rigid body. So in physics on the right here, we're just gonna... Actually, can you guys see that? That should be... Let me just bring that up a bit. Yeah, that's better. So we don't need the rigid body, so let's remove that. And we've got a behavior here called inverted world, and old level editors like Unreal Ed as well. I think they've got this idea of brushes where you subtract from the world to kind of make a space. So if I press invert world, oh, what's happened here? And then I set that to subtraction. We've got addition, subtraction, and intersection. But you can see how now we've just got like a box. And like as we go in, you can see how we can kind of go into that. So that makes a pretty good... Oh, whoops. That makes a pretty good makeshift room. And just drag the player into it. Um, and what I've been doing is I've been making like a little kind of skirting for it, just by subtracting a box within that. So if I go into this space and we generate another box, like so. So we've got this box drawn, and if we just subtract down a little bit, now suddenly we've got like a little skirting area, which is like dead simple. Let's go a little bit as to how materials work in it. So if I just if I shift click on a brush, it'll paint all of the kind of surfaces to a material. So I'll do that. I've got trim here. But also I can kind of just set each surface to kind of have separate materials if required. Or I'll put a carpet on that. So already we've got like a fairly convincing looking room with like next to no effort. So that was just from 2 squares, that's just from 2 brushes. So if we right click on those, we can group those as a selection. And then if we duplicate that, you can see how they're both subtracting from the world. So I can kind of create spaces that are like, it's like Boolean intersections in like a 3D modeling package. So it's like a completely non-destructive workflow. But how I made the room was, you just do something like that. Say if I duplicate another scene. Let's move this over here. And I'm just going to edit that. So I just want to bring the edges in for both of these. I can like select the brushes individually, so do that, and then we can kind of bring that in. That's fine, that like that. And if I drag this across, like we've got like a doorway there all of a sudden, which is pretty good. Maybe we want to bring the ceiling down on the doorway, so again we can do that pretty simply. So it's just quite a good little tool for making prototypes. And say we wanted to make this like a arch. Like I've been studying like Quake maps recently, because level design is not something I've done much. And like all the Quake maps, every good Quake map will have a fantastic arch, and then like materials around the arch. And you can just make an arch really easily. So if I generate a cylinder, I mean I can you know, make a really detailed one, but this is a bit jank, by the way. Let's just draw that out. I think we'll need to scale that a bit. Oh, there we go. And then depending on which way you pull these when you're creating, it will either add or subtract. It kind of knows what you're doing. So as I do that, you'll see it kind of just builds a nice arch there. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Go back to placement mode. And oh, Oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? I'm sure there's lots of cool techniques which I just haven't figured out yet. I think what we could do, what we could try is we could like make a trim on that by like expanding the brush size and making it additive. Let's give that a go. So you see it's set to subtractive now. It's set to addition. Obviously it's adding to the space. So let's edit that, and I'm going to want to just select. Does that select all? Yeah. So if I just... Can I just scale that up? Is that something I could do? There we go. Maybe something like that. And I think we want to just bring that in. And oh, it is a bit finicky. So obviously this is additive, so it's adding in the moment. And we don't want it to do that. But if we have a look at the order of the brushes, so we've got our inner circle and our outer circle. If I just put that behind, you can see how now it's being subtracted. So I just bring that further back. And we're already pretty close to getting what we wanted to do done. So I think that's all that's left to do would be to make another box. So we generate about here. Oh, okay. I guess we'll generate it like that. So it's snapped to the correct point. Bring that back. And then we want to bring this down. And obviously it needs to be additive, so let's just set that. And move that back. Now we've got like a arch, just like that simple. So let's try like bringing these out. Maybe we group these. So let's group that. And then we can scale it. So in your operation here, you set to handle as one object. Now we edit. That's not working as I thought it would. So I want to bring that out. But I might need to just select everything. I'm still learning this tool, by the way. Like I'm not an expert quite yet, so. But, there we go. Now let's set the trims. And it should be that simple. We've got a... Can I get to that? Yeah, so that just needs to be changed. So, I mean, that's pretty simple. And now we've kind of got this space. We can copy it, like we can just copy it as much as we want, so. let's delete that room for a second here. This probably needs to be brought back a bit, but that's not important right now. We copy that and then move that across. No. I think I didn't bring that out fully, did I? I didn't bring that out enough. But, you know, you get the point. Like, you can kind of just build spaces like this by just scaling stuff. And there's nothing stopping you from making, like, spaces that aren't just boxes. Like, so I could make like a space like that. And then again, if I wanted to put a trim on it, I could just do something. Oh. Something like that. Bring that down. And so on and so forth. So, it's like a little bit like, it's a bit different from Pro Tools. Like, so Pro Tools is like Unity's inbuilt level creation thing. It's only very recently been bought. Well, I say recently. It's been part of Unity for maybe 2 years. I only bothered learning it recently, and then I was like, oh, this is far more my style. So this is kind of what I've been using for all of these things. Let's see, what else did I want to go over? I guess we can save this. Oh. Example. I have a list. Let's have a look at the list. Show assets, code. Oh, right. Well, one thing I wanted to go over as well was just how you bake the nav mesh. So you need to make sure everything's static. So we've marked everything to static, and it's as simple as going to navigation, bake. There's some settings here you might need to modify, but we can just leave those as the default. Because this is fairly simple, it's just really quick to bake. And again, the blue area is just walkable space. So, you know what? This bit's annoying me. Can I just move that back? I'll deal with that later. But if we run that now. Oh, of course. We haven't set the camera up. But if you run that now, that should work. Maybe not. Camera trigger. So these are the trigger points I've been using. Let me just put that over here. And they just need to be linked up to a camera. I remember doing this for my game ages ago. If you messed with the size of the hitbox, it gave really weird results. Yeah. So in navigation, like you've got agent radius and like height and stuff. And it takes all of that into account. I don't know if it's been improved, but like, or like it's changed since the last time you used it. But it is quite configurable. Like I haven't had any issues with it yet, particularly with the real-time CSG plugin. But with like malformed geometry, like if you've got like a map that's come in from Blender and some of the triangles are all over the place, if it's got like messy triangles, it can be a problem. But yeah, that's right. So camera triggers. Again, these are just trigger box-coded triggers that are linked up to a camera, and when the player hits them, it switches to that camera. So that should. I don't know why my controls aren't working, but oh, this player's not set up. That's a good reason why. Let me delete that. We'll go to. Oh, this is from Vagrant Story. We go to Simple Room 2. I'll take the player out of that. And we'll put that into our example scene. So, as you can see, the player has got not only the animator, but also the player controller script, which is very simple. Maybe I'll go over that now. And this Nav Mesh Agent, which is just the important bit. We're barely using any of this, by the way. But when you go to do AI, this could be useful. Because we've got all of the speeds being driven by the animator, it's like less important. Well, some of the bits anyway. Right. Okay. So let's move this camera as well. Like, I'll move it like here. Align with view. Okay. And that should just run now. Oh, we need to go into one of the trigger areas to activate the camera. And now we can just go through our little space. So, I mean, that's kind of all we've done for this so far. Like, it's very simple. Very simple. Let's go back to our code. So, let's have a look. What's happening? It's been a while since I've looked at this. Quite a simple script. Control manual. Okay. So what we're doing here is we're just looking at, here we go. We've just got, like, in our update, there's some stuff here which I don't think we're using. This is from another script. I kind of ripped this and pared it down from a previous script that I made for Nav Mesh controlling. But all this does is it gets the forward from input.getAxis and turn. If you're doing an action, it'll set the forward to 0. So if you're aiming or quick turning, and then we go to control manual. Obviously the speed ramps up if you're holding on to left shift. And we just set things on the animator. So the animator set float forward. We're setting the speed. We go to animator. Double click on movement. You can see how this is just a blend tree. And each of these is like, I think you can see actually. So that's backwards at the moment. Let me. And as you. Oh. Does that play automatically? Yeah, so you've got like a back pedal on -1, and then it goes to this run. I don't think we ever use this run actually, but so yeah, really kind of convenient tool. But yeah. Right, what's next? real-time CSG example. We did that. Test, code up a zombie. So, one of the kind of staples of the genre is zombies, and zombies are kind of like just what you do when you're making AI for games, I suppose. So, I'm gonna try and code up a zombie. I'm gonna try and make it like as simple as possible. So that's not what I want. So I'm gonna use the player as a base, and I'm gonna make kind of like a player that just nav meshes to the player. One thing to note is the collision detection on the player is working through a rigid body, but if you look at the rigid body, it's a child of player. It's a child of our Nav Mesh Agent, and it's also set to kinematic. So we're using this purely for hit detection rather than rigid body physics. So that's something to bear in mind. But yeah, let's copy this. And we'll call it zombie. Make him super... a zombie. Is that Clarkson? He is a bit of a zombie. He's more of a boomby. Especially when there's stakes involved. Zombie, right. Let's sort that out. I'll put him there. We can have it driven by the same animator for now. And I'm just gonna do this like quick and dirty for the stream. I haven't planned this. So I'm gonna call this the zombie controller. I'm gonna have to zoom this in, aren't I? That's a bit much. Yeah, that's probably good. So, again, we've got our agent and our animator. And we'll have him driven by animation. And I guess we want him to move towards the player. So we need to give him like a position to kind of move towards. So I put in a public transform target. So forward is driven by the input manager. Oh, hi, it's Jason, isn't it? Hi, Jason. Don't know if I should be using your real name. How's it going? Well, you know, I hope it's going good for you. Sorry, man. Oh yeah, yeah. Going well, doing work in it, yeah. I don't know if this counts as work, but this is what I'm doing. Oh, how have you just got here? I've just shown my entire work process for this prototype. Oh, okay. Well, I'll keep the noise down. But yeah, just quickly catch up. I've just gone over this entire process for making this. So we've got a player. It's on a nav mesh. I've gone into the non-destructive kind of nature of real-time CSG, so you can kind of make rooms pretty quickly. I've Be on my stream, but stay quiet for my convenience. Yeah, that is right. But yeah, no. So I've just been going over real-time CSG and how I kind of made places, made spaces, and how you can kind of add these. So this has kind of become part of this space now. Like I've just moved it because it's like real-time subtractive. It is dope, right? It's dope as heck. It's actually really cool. Like what's even cooler is I can just do this, and oh, and then all of a sudden we got another room in. That's pretty cool, huh? So does it generate colliders or just generate nav mesh? So okay, so how it works is you see it's got model here. So there is a toggle on here which show meshes. Okay, so it's probably hard to see on stream, but there's generated meshes here, yeah, and that'll show you the meshes is actually rendering. So I don't know if I can move it, but yeah, it generates the meshes. Like you can do it at runtime, but obviously we're not doing it at runtime. You can set it to generate colliders. You can set edges to be like, faces to be shadows or not cast shadows. Like you get a lot of control over each face and what does what. You can like map it. You can just treat it like any other geometry. You can set it to generate colliders or not generate colliders. One thing that this isn't as good at as Pro Builder is if you want to make trigger areas, you need to kind of do that manually. There's no, yeah, it's excellent for prototyping. In a Pro Builder, if you want to make trigger areas, it's easy to like just draw them out. But on this, your whole model has to be a trigger. There's like a box here that's just like model this trigger. So for this, I've just been using box collider pairs as triggers. Yeah. Right, where was I? Right, okay. So zombies. To get this up and running, let's just set the forward to 1 always. And I suppose we want the turn to. I guess we'll just handle the turn from the AI. This shouldn't be called control manual. Let's control. Oh, I can't. Okay, well, we don't need this. Control. Rename that to control AI. Well, actually, we'll just handle that in here. We'll just rename that. For now, we'll just set the travel speed to 1. And we'll set the animator. So it's just going to move forward always. Let's set it to like something slow for now, because it's a zombie. And oh, travel speed. Yeah, so we just want speed current for now. So we need to do the pathfinding here. How are we going to do this? So obviously we need to go through the Nav Mesh Agent. So we'll do agent dot. Let's see what we've got here. Can we just set the target? I've forgotten how to do this. That's in our nav. Oh, scroll up. I forget I'm in the bottom left. Agent don't move. Yeah, I think you're right. Oh, okay, so this moves relative. I want to set a target. Destination, that's it. So we set destination to target dot position. And the agent isn't going to handle the movement, so we just need to get the direction. The desired. We've got desired velocity. Oh yeah, we can use that for direction, right? So we need to translate that to the animator. How do we do that? So we get our current forward direction, yeah? So we do this dot transform dot forward. That's where we're looking currently. And desired velocity is where we want to be looking. So we'll do this dot transform. Do we just lerp towards that? I think we. Doesn't it normally usually default point z axis in the direction? So you can do it manually, yeah. Agent dot. We've got update rotation. Let's do that. So we'll just set it to update the rotation manually. Or automatically, rather. Yeah. And then do we need to call agent dot move on it? Or update? Update rotation. No. Agent dot move. Or does it just happen automatically? Active. Enabled. Enabled behaviors are updated. Okay. Oh, it should be that simple then, right? I mean, it's not a particularly clever zombie. Yeah, I think it does just happen, yeah. So on our zombie, we're just gonna remove. Can we just do that? No. Remove that. We'll put zombie controller in. I guess this should be being populated from script, but you know, I'm lazy, so. And we'll give it the player as a target. I suppose we'll need to modify some of the... Oh! Like the angular speed and acceleration. But that should work. Oh, compiler error. Control manual. Oh, right, yeah. Comment that out. And then if we run that... Oh! Okay, it's actually doing it, but let's move the camera trigger. Actually, let's move the player. Like that. And what else did we want to do? I mean, we'll probably slow the zombie down. Oh, you know what? You know what's happening. I will set agent dot update position equals false. Yeah, that's a bit more of a slow zombie now. Oh, he's going the wrong way. I'm moving. Oh, something's gone very wrong here. What has happened? That is odd. Zombie. Let's take the rigid body off the zombie. Let's see what's. Let's have a little closer. Yeah, his nav mesh is coming here, look. But his body is in a different place entirely. Agent.update position is false. That's odd. That is odd. And if it's true... Oh. Okay, well... That's odd. But, I suppose we can change the, speed. We could probably get the speed in... We could probably set the speed in the nav mesh and adjust the animation according to the nav mesh speed. Angular speed, we want it to be quite slow because zombies like don't turn very quick, right? Stopping distance 0, yeah. Obstacle avoidance, I guess we might want to just set that to 0 because zombies don't really avoid obstacles, do they? That's a bit better. See how quick he is at turning. Yeah, he's... I mean, that's basically a zombie, right? That was pretty easy. What was that, like 2 lines of code or something? Okay, good. So it wasn't anything to do with the rigid body. Good zombie turning circle. Yeah, thanks. I think so too. Do I want to put like... If I want it to be, I guess I want to make a hitbox for it now. So like when a character is in its hitbox, it'll like perform some kind of an action. Like if these two just go together, they kind of push each other out of the way at the moment. Like that's hardly ideal. So I suppose what we'd do, we go to our zombie and we'll add like a trigger, and we could like... I'll tell you what, let's go on to mixamo.com and we'll try and find some kind of like lunge animation. Oh. Mixamo. Okay. Oh. That's bright. Is that bright? Oh, I look like I'm in a cave. Alright. Alright. So yeah, you can see this is just a thing I got from Mixamo. Vampiric bite. That's not really what I'm after, but maybe it'll do. Like this figure is dummy thick as well, right? I'm just saying. Right. I'll tell you what, if I just type in zombie, I'm sure there's like a whole pack, right? Oh, here we go. The not so scary zombie pack and the scary zombie pack. Yeah, them thighs, right? Thighs for days. Let's have a look at this. Oh, they have an actual zombie model I could use, but that's already too much effort. Alright, we got a good shamble. What else do you got for me? Like an idol? Can I see the individual animations? No? Could have sworn you could. Anyway, I'll just download this. Oh, right, I need to sign in. Okay. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so I'll just get that zombie pack. So for a long time, I kind of forced myself to make everything myself, right? So I used to just spend, well, I still do. I used to just spend so long, like, being like, I'm gonna make the walk animation myself. I'm gonna make all of this stuff discrete, make, characters and environments. And this year, I'm really trying my best to settle for like asset packs, just because, like, you know, if you're working in a very small team, it's you can't really do everything yourself as much as you might want to. It's very hard to find the time. Okay, let's skip through this. Oh, I'm really looking for an attack rather than like. Yeah, that's good. There's a bite. That's exactly what I want. Okay. I mean, sometimes that's right if you want to learn, but to actually make something, it's not worth it. Yeah, I mean, I think it's not something I regret. It's more like I think there's a middle ground about making your own stuff, uh, which is no, I really am. Look how dark. I look like I could be performing like incantations or something. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, let me get this into Unity. Yeah, there's just I think for prototyping as well, like it's better to get something up and running rather than um, be like, oh, okay, well, to get any further in the prototype, I need to spend uh, 14 to 16 hours in Blender. Like, if you're just trying to develop an idea, it's just time prohibitive, really, isn't it? So let's cause zombie anims. We'll just paste those in there. What is this music? It's very... That's from Suikoden. I've not played Suikoden. Like, I keep meaning to. Like, Suikoden 2. It's like supposed to be one of the best like PS1 JRPGs. I just never got around to it. Ape Escape, Parasite Eve 2. There's some good games on this list. Is this Ape Escape? Is it? I've not played Ape Escape either. These games look exactly like my type of jam. Right. Okay. All right. So we need to set these up firstly. So animation rig. We need to set these to humanoid, and we're going to copy the avatar definition from the current avatar I was using. Did you play Ape Escape, Jason? Were you into that? Like, the most I've played of Ape Escape is there's like a mini game in Metal Gear Solid 3. You watched your brother play. Oh, okay. Fair dues. Yeah, there's this in I think I don't know if it's in the HD version, but in Metal Gear Solid 3, you can kind of like there's this just the Ape Escape monkeys are just in there, and it's just like you go around like tranking them as Snake, and that's just some crazy shit. There's like um what do they call it? The codec. There's like a whole codec conversation about it. But yeah. Okay, so we've got these animations. So we're gonna need to go to our animator. And I suppose we'll just keep everything in the same animator for now. And I probably want to add a trigger. And we'll call this lunge. Get back to the base layer. We probably would want a separate animator for the zombies. But we won't do that for now. Okay, what we got? Can we preview these? Walking, attack. That's what we want, right? No, that's not what we want. I want like a lunge. Let's see what we got here. Reaction hit. They're just like, they're not particularly well named. Well, I don't know, I'm being a bit harsh. Scratch, idle, reaction. Oh. Headbutt's probably what we want, right? Maybe not. Kicking, punching. Let's have a look at the punch. Yeah, that's what we want. So, as you can see, it's very frustrating because the animations are just named mixamo.com, and it's like very helpful, very helpful. I don't think you can rename them either because they're like within a FBX. So that's frustrating. I'd have to like extract them, and I'm not sure that's something I want to do, but I can rename them here. So lunge. The bums are distractingly large. What, in Ape Escape or in this? Or in general. Lunge. It's kind of like a big badonkadonk. But, right. So, okay, yeah, so I put lunge in, and I set that to be triggered from movement. So if I fire lunge, it'll transition to this, and when it's finished playing, it should just go back to movement. This should happen immediately, so I'm just going to move it all the way back. I think that's how it works. And when this animation completes, it moves back to movement. Yeah. Okay. I mean, you can see how we could add, like, when lunge is complete, we could add some extra idle time if we wanted to kind of do that. So that's kind of like a good way to control how things are moving. It's just these animators. Like, it's just like a good way to like, not all of your logic needs to be in code. Like in games, a lot of your like things like hitboxes are driven by animation, so there's no reason why you shouldn't have the logic to fire them driven in animation, you know. Now, okay, so to fire that, what I'm gonna do is in zombie, I'm going to add. Oh, it keeps doing this. I'm gonna add just a cube. And that's gonna be like, this is gonna be like, if something enters this area, it'll lunge. I guess it'll stop and then lunge forward. So that's something we need to try and figure out. So firstly, this needs to be a trigger. And we'll call this lunge hitbox. And I'll just hide the mesh renderer for now. That looks about, oh. That seems about right. It's a little bit off, I think, but it's probably the kind of area I want. I'll save that. And we'll need to go to our zombie controller. How are we going to do that? So I suppose... Okay, that's a pretty jank way to do it, but I suppose we have another script which just fires off an event when a trigger's been... a player trigger has entered that area. Oh, I should cancel it. Let's do this for Unity. I haven't even needed to make a folder in my scripts folder. I'll call this player trigger. And wait. Do private void on trigger enter. We'll do if how we detecting. But it's using tags. I could just copy this. Copy this. So we just check the colliders of the tag to be player, and if it is, I don't like. I mean, if I thought about this at any length, I probably wouldn't do this, but I'm gonna do send message. Send message upwards. Maybe I just want to do. Oh, hi Ryan. How's it going? This dot parent. Let's dot transform dot parent dot send message. This is like you shouldn't do this. Don't do this. And I'm gonna do player player enter. And I suppose we could have like an extra tag on it. We'd probably send this. And then we can have a look at the tag. Whoops. We could have the name just be the game object name. So I think we'll do that. Yeah, this is some cursed code. I didn't really think ahead. I was like, I'm not used to coding on stream. So we've got our update. Oh, okay, we want to like fire off a event. We could do that. Could be worse. Well, as long as it works. I'm gonna rewrite this anyway. It's fine. What did we call it? Player enter. Yeah, this is not up to my usual standards. I'm just gonna put that out there. And it passes in a player trigger. Yeah, that's true. It doesn't matter too much. Do you use the tag compare function instead of directly comparing strings? That's a very good point. It's a very good point. Yeah, should be doing that. I don't think I've ever used that, you know. Yeah, I know it's like inefficient. But yeah, that's a good one actually. You know what? No, I will do we'll do if I mean you wouldn't do this design pattern at all, really. But if you were, you would use an enum, I suppose. Is equal to lunge, and then we do anim dot. We do anim dot set trigger. Lunge. Oh yeah, no, because the position is being driven by the AI. It means that's a problem. Anyway, let's just see if that works. That should be fine. I called it lunge hitbox. Okay. How's your day been, Ryan? What have you been up to? If you're still about. Oh. Wait, everyone's lunging now. But the player shouldn't be doing that. What's going on? What did I do? um, Anim.set trigger lunge. Did I set? I didn't set the trigger, did I? So in my blend tree, going to lunge, I just need to add a condition. Lunge. Okay. Right. Now. No. Oh, it has worked. Just a little slow on the uptake there. Let's have a look at the animator and see what's happening. Yeah, it's just going through a cycle of movement before it's doing the lunge. And I don't know if that's what I want to happen. How do I change that again? I think I just changed the exit time to 0. Yeah, and if I stay there, it should just immediately go back to it. Yeah. Okay. Okay, good, good, good. This is good progress. Shall we make a separate animator for the zombie? I think we should. Let's do that. So we've got player anim controller at the moment. I'm just going to rename this, copy and rename it to zombie anim. And in movement, I guess I can just modify these so they're a bit more shambling. Where did we put our zombie animations? Oh, here they are. Okay. So let's have a little look at them, shall we? Do we have I guess I don't have a back pedal for this, right? Zombies don't tend to back pedal. Walking. We've got an alternate walk. I guess this... Oh, whoops. I guess this agonizing... Why is that not showing up? Oh. Come on. Come on, zombie. Oh, I need to update this. So this should be zombie anim. Why aren't you previewing? Done something really dumb here, haven't I? Anyway, right, we'll just go in and do it. We'll just go in and set these up. So in our blend tree, we've got... So we go from -1. I probably don't need as many of these. So I'll just have 3. So we'll have an idle, a backwards, and a forward. And we'll remove these. Delete. We are in the right animation, right? Yes. Okay. Good. 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 And okay. Right. So the middle one's idle. We'll just paste idle in. Oh wait, that's not the zombie animation. Where is agonizing? That's idle. And we'll just put the walking animation in for both of them, and we'll reverse the walking animation when going backwards. Save that. Now, the animation isn't going to link up. I still need to figure out what's going on there. So that's linked. Let's make a prefab out of this before I forget. So let's put that in there. Original prefab. Save. Let's see what happens. Oh, okay. Oh, I forgot he's still got his little gun, look. He should be stationary now. Right, okay. Let's modify the animation speed. Just set that to 1. Oh, that's a bit better. He's still going a bit fast. Here, zombie, zombie. Yeah. Oh, he's not looping. That's okay. That's a quick fix. Walking. So we just go to animation and loop. And apply that. There we go. I want to sort the animation, the walking animation out. Okay. I want to sort the walking animation out, and then we can maybe think about hitboxes. I've only got like another half hour, so I don't know if we'll be able to do that. We'll see. See, this should fix it, but it didn't. Agent.update position. A simulated agent position. I've got a feeling I can set the speed on the zombie to 0, and then it won't on the nav mesh, and then it won't move unless the animation moves. So let's give that a try. I'm a compulsive saver in Unity. Like, I just go back and save all the time. Yeah, that seems... Oh, yeah. This isn't moving, though, is it? He is shambling well, though. He's shambling right through a wall. Okay. How do we do that? I've done this before, I swear. Update position false. Do we just move? Apply a relative movement to the current position. Oh, I see now. I want it driven by animation. Something I might need to do some Googling of. Whoa! Whoa! Oh, look at this guy go. That's not what we want. What's this? This is from Resident Evil. Rebecca's theme, huh? I can't say I remember it. I've got more memories of remake at this point anyway, so than the PS1 version. Chrono Cross next. That can stay. Okay, I think we might need to do some Googling of this. So we want to look at... let's just get the Unity documentation out. Oh, Nav Mesh. Oh, that's bright. Not Nav Mesh, Nav Mesh Agent. Path. Okay, so set rapidly when true, changing the position will affect the simulated position. When false, the simulated position will not be applied to the transform and vice versa. Right, so that does make sense, that logic. So we do want update position. Explicit control of the transform position by a script. So this allows you to use the agent's simulated position to drive another component, i.e. animation. Yeah, that's what we want to do. We want to drive it with the root motion. So let's just Google this. Nav Mesh Agent root animation. Using root motion animation controller for an enemy. I must have Googled this before. What's the issue? Oh, so the movement needs to be driven by the animation, but it's currently not. When the monster is set to idle, oh, the rigid body's not. I'll show you in a second, Jason. 1 second. Once the enemy is in a certain distance of the player, ugly side effect of the... I think I already know the ugly side effect of eating French fries. Let's go back. So we want drive, root motion, and nav mesh agent. How to make a nav mesh agent turn with root motion. Yeah, it looks like there's a couple of resources. I think this will be the... Oh, God. Oh, I can get the position of the from the animator. Okay. That makes sense. That's good. So we'll... In that case, we can... In that case, we do agent.move and we do anim.rootMerge delta? The root position. Delta position. Get the avatar delta position for the last evaluated frame. Is that what we want? I think that's what we want. see what happens. Okay, this is improvement. He's not really turning though, is he? That's a problem. Do you want to turn, zombie? Do you want to turn? No. I guess what we do is we, instead of updating the rotation with the agent, we get the desired rotation and we rotate the transform manually. So let's set that to false and do agent dot desired velocity. Is that what we want? Can we get like angular angle? Nav mesh. Radius. The current steering target. Guess the current steering target. This is typically the next corner, unless the agent. I think we use the velocity to calculate the rotation, right? The like I was gonna do before. So agent dot desired velocity. And we could just, as a test, we could just do this dot transform dot forward equals. I don't think we need to normalize this, but I might just anyway. And obviously that's not got a turning circle anymore, that's just going like immediately. Oh, is he gonna turn? Maybe he's not. No, he's not. Look, rotation viewing vector is 0. Agent dot desired velocity. Can we have a look at the desired velocity? It's not transform. Wait, this I'm being an idiot. Sorry. Excuse me. This dot transform dot rotation equals. We need to set the rotation. That was stupid of me. Quaternion dot look rotation. We'll do that. This isn't the solution. This should give us an idea of whether it's working or not. So we're just creating a quaternion that looks at the direction that it wants to go. Imagine getting confused by quaternions. Well, Dev, it happens to the best of us. I don't know how long you've been back, Dev, but I've been having some troubles making a zombie. He doesn't like it, does he? He's not really rotating in the right direction. How troublesome. The desired velocity, desired position is 0, 0, 0, so that's obviously a problem. Do I need to have this enabled? I've been here about 5 minutes. Saw some potential combat. I think combat is Well, it's being generous. So what we've done is I did a demo of the level creation tools, and we made a little hitbox here. Yeah, see the target velocity is 0, 0, 0. That doesn't make any sense, does it? Did I set the target in zombie? Player transform. Yeah, so that's just 0, 0. So show boob, please. I don't have any to show, I'm afraid. I would willingly oblige. We're all Quaternians when you think about it. Question mark. Well, I mean, are we? I mean, what is man? What is a man? There's definitely a way, isn't there? There's definitely a way to get the I thought desired velocity was okay. It's because I set the speed to 0 here. That's exactly why. So okay. That was silly. So let's see what happens here. I think we need to manually set the movement to disabled. Where have you defined the target velocity? No, I defined it. It's just I didn't set my It's working, look. I didn't set the nav mesh up properly. Like, he's very dead on, though. I need to smooth that out. That's something I can do. It's fast as well. Look at him. Okay. We'll go over what's happening in the code in a minute. I don't know if I set this to update position to false. Will that just not work? Does this take place in the Side Glide universe? So Scott Redrup. It doesn't take place in any universe, I'm afraid, at the moment. It just it takes place, and that's enough. Seems to be, yeah. Seems to be working. Oh, I did this twice. I'm not paying attention now. I'm just like, now suddenly people are here and chatting. I'm like reading chat instead of actually paying attention to my code. Anyway, what have everyone been saying? Just throwing up alert for you, J-Rad. Currently at work and listening in when I can. Oh, I appreciate that. Like, oh my god. Yeah, so that didn't work. So update position needs to be true. I think maybe we can get away with just setting the speed to like a very low number, and we can like set that manually when we want it to be idle. So I mean that should work, because all the rotation needs is like the angle. Yeah, that's working now. So it's kind of like his speed is like driven by the animator still. He should just walk to me now. Yeah. But we can still get the desired velocity because the speed's set to like a very low number. Okay. Um, what's happening now? Streaming game dev is stressful. I mean, it is and it isn't. Like, I think it's stressful when stuff goes wrong, which is all the time. So I guess maybe it is. But like making the little levels and like demonstrating where I've got to has been pretty fun. Where's the lore? There's no lore, I'm afraid. It's very lore hasn't been made yet, I'm afraid. It doesn't take place in Badger City, I'm afraid. I mean, maybe it could. Maybe it could. Maybe it could. Yeah. Next step: ray tracing. I don't have a card capable of ray tracing, so I'd need to use it as an excuse. I think maybe we bring this hitbox in a bit. So let's bring that in. So it'll lunge when it's quite close. Don't be talking about Plymouth Mucky D's, Andy. Like, people don't need to be hearing about this. Oh my god. For those not in the know, like Plymouth MacD's at midnight, it's like Corona Central. Like, like you're walking there, order a burger, and you'll come out with an STD. Like, it's not a pleasant place. Okay, well this is working. That's cool. Let's add a whole bunch of zombies in. How long have I got? I've got another 10 minutes, so... Let's just do some quick wins, innit? Oh, we need to make the turn angle different. So, save that. The STDs are a free bonus. Yeah, it's like a Happy Meal. Are these guys all just attacking each other? Oh, they've got player tags. Let me just untag that. Oh, they're still fighting each other. I think the hip Bridget Buddy has the player tag. That's exactly what it is, yeah. I should be editing, if I open up the prefab, I can just do that. So, set that to untagged. Good. Perhaps reskin the zombies as Corona-chan. Oh, God. They're having some issues, look. Oh, yeah. That's why I can fix this. Don't worry. Oh, it's pretty convincing, though, isn't it? It's quite good. It's just a bit... Alright, let's sort that. So, this, the rotation needs to lerp towards this. Really, this should only be taking into account the forward and the left rather than the up. But, for now, we can just do quaternion.lerp this dot transform dot rotation to the desired velocity, and then we just need to put in time dot delta time. We'll have turn speed turn. Is that a value I have already? Yeah, they are pretty deadly premonition zombies. Yeah, like they could use some raincoats or something, right? Are you using tank controls? Yeah, it's tank controls all the way at the moment. Tank controls, and you have a quick turn. Like it's literally the same controls as like the Resident Evil remake, or like it's classic Resident Evil controls. Um, that should yeah, that should just work. I think. What's this? Their turn is on 0.4 at the moment. That might be a bit slow. Let's have a look. Oh, sorry, 1 second. I'm just mentioning history. Yeah. Sorry, that's just the door. The door went. Uh, oh, this works, right? Hey, that's good. It's pretty cool. Like it adds some like randomization in, but I'm actually pretty happy with that. I didn't think I'd be able to do like a live stream where I actually accomplish something, but that's pretty cool, man. I'm actually pretty happy with it. Yeah, thanks, Dev. I appreciate that. Um, Chair Carson is coding. Chair Carson is probably a better coder than I am. Let's be honest. Um, cool. So there's way more people watching now. I'll just give a quick rundown of the project again, like 5 minute short rundown. Um, like so, I've been working on a fixed camera game. Uh, I first made this little realistic environment just to test out camera angles, so you can run around like this, and it changes camera angles. Spent a lot of time learning lighting and like properly using materials and stuff. Did some research and I found a library called the Everything Library by a guy who made the game Everything. Oh, this is Parasite Eve. Oh yes. Which is here. And if you want to prototype something, like he's got like all these cool. There's like what 300 meshes in this, and you can get them for free. And that's just on itch.io, the Everything Library. He keeps putting out more packs. So this is using this is using URP. The lighting on URP is a bit different. I put some post processing on and stuff. But yeah, as you can see, like the Everything Library's got a lot of stuff. I had to make a vertex color shader for it because it doesn't use any materials. From there, I started working on some tests of like visuals. I made this kind of Killer 7 looking space. Again, this is all using the real-time CSG tool. And again, we're using Nav Mesh to kind of move around. And we got this. So I spent some time making it look a bit more like a digital space. So I'm trying to figure out look of the game still. But I think the concept is you're going to be in this kind of digital space, and you're going to go to like different environments through the digital environment as like a hub. So there's probably a lot of room for different spaces. And in today's stream, what did we do? This isn't the scene. Level test. Example. Oh yeah, look, check it out. I made this kind of like Unreal ass looking place. Like pretty simply. Real like Quake 1 vibes. But yeah, in the stream we kind of just I just showed the workflow for working with real-time CSG. We added in some zombies, and some animations, some basic logic. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So I don't know if anyone else is streaming at the moment. Like, I know a couple of you guys who have watched are like streamers. Let me have a look. Twitch. I don't even know how you do a raid. Maybe raid a random game dev. But Glums is streaming. Oh, okay. Okay, one sec. Do I need to go to my chat and do this? Oh shit. Oh my god. Alright. Cheers for the stream. Thanks, guys.